Here's a simple and easy to understand story about how I learned to speak English. When I was a child, I did not know how to speak English. In my country, people spoke a different language. But I always wanted to learn English because I saw it in movies and heard it in songs. One day, I decided to learn. At first, it was difficult. I did not understand many words, and I felt shy when I tried to speak. But I did not give up. I started small. First, I watched cartoons in English. The characters spoke slowly, and I could understand some words. I listened carefully and repeated the words. I also sang English songs. At first, I did not know what the words meant, but I enjoyed the rhythm and sounds. Next, I started reading simple English books. They had short sentences and pictures. This helped me learn new words. Every day, I tried to read a little more. Then I made a friend who spoke English. At first, I was scared to talk, but my friend was kind. We spoke slowly, and she helped me when I made mistakes. I learned that making mistakes is okay. It is part of learning. I also used my phone to learn. I played English games, watched YouTube videos, and used a dictionary app. Every day, I learned a little more. After some time, I realized something amazing. I could understand English. I could watch movies without subtitles, read books, and talk to people. I felt happy and proud. Now I love speaking English. It helps me meet new people, learn new things, and travel. Learning English was not easy, but it was fun. The secret is to practice every day and never be afraid to make mistakes. If I can do it, you can too. As I continued my journey of learning English, I discovered more ways to improve. One day, I decided to keep a small notebook. Every time I heard a new word, I wrote it down. I also wrote its meaning and made a simple sentence with it. This helped me remember words better. I also started thinking in English. Before, I always translated from my native language to English in my head. But I realized that thinking directly in English made speaking easier. So I practiced by describing things around me in English. For example, if I saw a red car, I would say in my mind, "That is a red car. It is fast." One of the biggest changes came when I started speaking English every day. At first, I was afraid of making mistakes, but then I told myself, mistakes help me learn. So I joined an online group where people practiced speaking English. We talked about simple topics like food, hobbies, and travel. Slowly, my confidence grew. I no longer felt shy. Instead, I enjoyed speaking. One day, I had a big moment. I traveled to another country where people spoke only English. At the airport, I had to ask for help. I took a deep breath and spoke to an officer. "Excuse me, where is the baggage claim?" He understood me and gave me directions. That moment made me so happy. I realized I could communicate in English. From that day, I never stopped practicing. I watched more English movies, read more books, and spoke with more people. Now, English feels natural to me. I learned an important lesson. Learning English is like planting a tree. At first, it is small, but if you give it water, practice, it grows big and strong. As I continued improving my English, I started enjoying it even more. It was no longer just about learning, it became part of my life. Using English in everyday life, I began to do everything in English. When I used my phone, I changed the language to English. When I searched for something on the internet, I used English words. Even when I was alone, I talked to myself in English. For example, if I was cooking, I would say, "Now, I am cutting the onions. Next, I will add the tomatoes." This helped me think faster in English. It was like my brain got used to the language, and I didn't have to translate in my head anymore. Making new friends. One of the best things about learning English was meeting new people. I joined online forums where people from different countries talked about things they liked. I met people from the USA, the UK, Canada, and even countries where English was not the first language. At first, I was nervous. What if I made mistakes? But I remembered mistakes are normal. So I just started talking. I learned new slang words, different accents, and even jokes. One day I made a friend from England. We started chatting every day, and my English improved even more. He taught me British expressions like cheers, which means thank you, and fancy a cup of tea, which means do you want tea? It was fun learning English in a natural way. My first English presentation. After months of practice, I had my biggest challenge. I had to give a presentation in English. I was nervous. Speaking in front of people was already scary, but speaking in English? That was even harder. But I had prepared well. I practiced in front of a mirror, recorded my voice, and even spoke to my friend online for advice. On the big day, I stood in front of the audience. My heart was beating fast, but I took a deep breath and started speaking. At first, I was a little slow, but soon I gained confidence. People listened carefully, and when I finished, they clapped. I felt so proud. I had done something I never thought I could do before. That day, I realized that learning English had changed my life. The secret to learning English easily now. When people ask me, how can I learn English easily? I tell them, listen a lot, watch movies, listen to songs, and hear how native speakers talk. Speak every day. Don't be shy. Even if you make mistakes, just speak. Think in English. Try to stop translating in your head. Read and write. Books, articles, even short texts help a lot. Make friends. Talking to real people helps you improve faster. Be patient and have fun. Learning a language takes time, but enjoy the process. Now, English is a part of me.
Looking back, I feel so happy that I didn't give up. Learning English was one of the best decisions of my life. It opened new doors, helped me meet amazing people, and gave me confidence. Now I can travel anywhere and talk to people easily. I can watch any movie without subtitles. I can even help others learn English. So, if you are learning English, remember, you can do it. Just take small steps every day, and one day, you will realize that you can speak easily too. English changed my life. As I continued my journey with English, I started to see how much it had changed my life. It was no longer just a language I was learning. It became a bridge to new opportunities, new people, and new experiences. Getting my first English job. One of the biggest moments in my life came when I applied for a job that required English. Before, I would have been too scared, but now I had the confidence to try. I prepared my resume in English and practiced common interview questions. When the day of the interview came, I was nervous, but I remembered everything I had learned. I greeted the interviewer with a smile and answered the questions clearly. At the end of the interviewer said, "Your English is very good. We are happy to have you on our team." I couldn't believe it. I got the job. Learning English had opened a new door for me, traveling the world with English. Another exciting moment came when I traveled to another country for the first time. Before learning English, I would have felt lost, but now I could ask for directions, order food, and even make friends with people from different places. One day, while exploring a new city, I met a traveler from Japan. He didn't speak my native language, and I didn't speak Japanese, but we had one common language: English. We spent the day together, sharing stories and experiences. That's when I truly realized English connects people from all over the world. Helping others learn English. Because I knew how difficult it was to learn English, I wanted to help others. I started giving advice to my friends, telling them what worked for me. Some of my friends were afraid to speak, so I encouraged them. Don't be shy, just try. I even started a small online group where we practiced English together. Seeing others improve and feel more confident made me so happy. I realized that learning is not just about personal success, it's also about sharing knowledge and helping others grow. dreaming bigger now. I don't see English as something I learned. It has become a part of me. It has helped me in my career, allowed me to travel, and given me the confidence to dream bigger. I want to continue improving. Maybe one day I will write a book in English. Maybe I will give a speech at an international event. The possibilities are endless. And if you are learning English right now, I want to tell you, keep going. You might struggle today, but one day, you will look back and realize how far you've come. Learning English is not just about words and grammar. It's about opening new doors, making new friends, and creating new opportunities. A new chapter, teaching English to others. As I continued my journey, I realized something important. I wanted to help others learn English, just like I did. Many people around me wanted to speak English but felt scared, just like I had felt in the beginning. They thought English was too hard, and they were afraid of making mistakes. I understood their fear because I had been there before. So I decided to do something about it. At first, I started small. I helped my friends practice English by having simple conversations. I told them the same thing that helped me. Don't be afraid to speak. Mistakes are good because they help you learn. Then I started helping younger students in my community. I shared my favorite methods, watching English cartoons, reading simple books, and listening to English songs. Seeing them improve made me so happy. Starting an online English group. One day, I had an idea. What if I could help more people online? So I created a small online group for English learners. In this group, we practiced speaking, shared new words, and helped each other improve. People from different countries joined, and we all became friends. Every week, we chose a topic to discuss. Sometimes we talked about food, travel, or hobbies. Other times, we practiced telling short stories in English. The best part? Everyone felt comfortable making mistakes because we knew mistakes were part of learning. A special moment. My first English speech. One day, I was invited to give a short speech at a local event about learning languages. I was excited but also nervous. Speaking English with friends was easy, but speaking in front of a big audience, that was a new challenge. Before going on stage, I took a deep breath and reminded myself, I have worked so hard to reach this moment. I can do this. When I started speaking, I saw people listening carefully. I shared my story, how I learned English, how I overcame my fear, and how anyone could do the same. At the end of my speech, people clapped. Some even came to me and said, "Your story inspired me. Now I want to learn English too." That was one of the best moments of my life. The power of never giving up. Looking back, I feel proud of how far I have come. There was a time when I couldn't understand a single word of English. Now, I can read books, watch movies, talk to people from all over the world, and even give speeches. English changed my life in ways I never imagined. If you are learning English, remember this. Start small, but start today. Practice every day, even if just a little. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Find fun ways to learn. Songs, movies, and books. Believe in yourself. One day, you will look back and realize how far you have come, and just like me, you will say, English opened new doors for me. A new dream, becoming a language coach. After helping my friends and running my online English group, I started thinking about the future. I had learned English for myself, but now I wanted to help others learn too. Could I become an English coach? At first, the idea scared me. I wasn't a teacher, and English was not my first language. But then I remembered something important. I had learned English the hard way, step by step. I knew the struggles, the mistakes, and the fears. That meant I could truly understand and help others. So, I decided to take a chance. Helping more people learn English. I started by offering free English practice sessions online. I created simple lessons, shared tips, and helped learners build confidence. At first, only a few people joined, but then more and more learners came. They told me, I was scared to speak before, but now I feel more confident. Your method makes English fun and easy. I finally understand that mistakes are part of learning. Hearing these words made me realize this is what I love doing. Becoming a professional. As I gained more experience, I wanted to improve my teaching skills. I took online courses on how to teach English and how to help people learn faster. I also practiced my own English every day, learning new words and perfecting my pronunciation. Even though I had learned a lot, I knew that learning never stops. Then, something amazing happened. I was offered my first paid job as an online English tutor. My first paid English class. I still remember the day I had my first official class. My student was a young woman from Brazil who wanted to improve her speaking skills. She was nervous, just like I had been when I started learning. I smiled and said, "Don't worry, we are just talking. Imagine we are friends having a conversation." Slowly, she relaxed. She made mistakes, but I encouraged her. "Great sentence, just change this one word. Your pronunciation is getting better. Remember, confidence is more important than perfection." After the lesson, she sent me a message. "Thank you. For the first time, I feel like I can speak English." That message made me feel so happy. I knew I had found my purpose. Where I am now today, I continue helping people learn English. I work as an online tutor, create learning materials, and share my story with others. But most importantly, I keep learning and growing. Because I believe that learning never stops. No matter how good you become, there is always something new to discover. Your journey starts now. If you are reading this and you want to learn English, remember, start small, but start today. Speak, even if you make mistakes. Read, watch, and listen to English every day. Find friends to practice with. Believe in yourself. You can do it. One day, you will look back and realize that English has opened new doors for you, just like it did for me. This is my story. But now, it's time for your story to begin. A new goal: inspiring more people. As I continued my journey as an English tutor, I realized something important. Learning English is not just about speaking a language, it's about changing lives. I saw how my students gained confidence. Some got better jobs, some traveled to new countries, and some simply felt happier because they could express themselves. That's when I decided, I want to inspire more people to believe in themselves. Starting a YouTube channel. One day I had a new idea. What if I could reach even more learners? Many people around the world want to learn English, but not everyone can afford lessons. So, I decided to start a YouTube channel. At first, I was nervous. I wasn't used to speaking in front of a camera. But I remembered my own journey. I had once been afraid to speak English, and now I was helping others. So, I recorded my first video. Many people wanted motivational videos about learning, so I expanded my content. I started making short and simple English lessons for beginners. Speaking practice videos where learners could repeat after me. Live Q&A sessions to answer questions from English learners worldwide. The response was amazing. More people joined my online community, and my inbox was filled with messages like, "I used to be afraid to speak, but now I practice every day. Thanks to your videos, I got my first job interview in English." Your story inspires me to never give up. Meeting English learners from around the world. One of the best moments in my journey came when I started connecting with learners from different countries. I held an online event where people could join a live session and practice speaking English with me. More than 100 people from different countries joined. We had people from India, Egypt, Brazil, Indonesia, Turkey, China, Mexico, and many more places. It was incredible to see how English brought people together. Even though we all had different native languages, English allowed us to communicate, share ideas, and become friends. That day, I truly understood. English is not just a language, it is a global connection. Helping learners overcome fear. I noticed that many learners had one big challenge: fear of speaking. They knew words and grammar but felt too shy to talk. They were afraid of making mistakes. So, I created a new challenge, the Speak English Every Day Challenge. I encouraged my students to speak English for at least 5 minutes every day, record themselves speaking and listen to their progress, join speaking groups to practice with others. The results were amazing. Students who were afraid before started speaking with confidence. They realized that mistakes were normal and that communication is more important than perfection. Dreaming, even bigger. Now, I know that this journey is only the beginning. My next goals are: write a book about how to learn English easily, host live English speaking events in different countries, start my own online English academy for learners worldwide. Every day I wake up with one thought: how can I help more people learn English and change their lives? Your journey starts today. If you are reading this, I want you to know you can do it too. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Speak English every day, even if just a little. Find fun ways to learn. Watch movies, listen to songs, read books. Believe in yourself, because English will open new doors for you. One day, you will look back and say, I did it. English changed my life. A new adventure, taking English to the next level. As my journey continued, I started to realize something important. Learning English never truly stops. Even though I could speak, teach, and help others, there was always something new to learn. So I decided to challenge myself again. If I could learn English, improve my skills, and help others, what else could I do? That's when I had a new idea. I wanted to visit an English-speaking country. My first trip to an English-speaking country. After years of learning and teaching, I finally had the chance to travel abroad. I was excited, but also a little nervous. Would my English be good enough? Would I understand native speakers? When I arrived, I faced my first challenge: ordering food at a restaurant. I walked up to the counter and said, "Hello, I would like a chicken sandwich and a coffee, please." The cashier smiled and asked, "Would you like any sauce with that?" For a second, I froze. I didn't expect that question. But then, I took a deep breath and replied, "Yes, barbecue sauce, please." It was a small moment, but it made me feel proud. I was really using my English in the real world. During my trip, I spoke with locals and asked for directions, made friends from different countries, attended an English-speaking event, and introduced myself. At the end of the trip, I realized something important. My English was better than I thought. Facing challenges and growing stronger. Even though I had improved a lot, there were still moments when I didn't understand something. One day, a native speaker spoke too fast, and I couldn't catch what they said. I felt frustrated for a moment, but then I reminded myself, this is part of the journey. Every mistake is a lesson. So I asked them, "Sorry, could you repeat that more slowly?" And guess what? They happily repeated it. That moment taught me that it's okay to ask for help and that no one expects you to be perfect. Inspiring more people around the world. After my trip, I came back even more motivated. I wanted to help more people feel confident in English. So I started new projects, a weekly podcast where I shared English learning tips, a motivational blog about overcoming fear in language learning, a free conversation club where learners could practice speaking. The response was incredible. More and more people joined, and I received messages like, "Because of your advice, I finally spoke English in public. I used to feel embarrassed, but now I practice every day. I got my dream job thanks to learning English." These messages reminded me why I started this journey, to show people that learning English is possible for everyone. The next big dream. Now, I have even bigger dreams. To organize live English workshops in different countries, to speak at international conferences about learning languages, to write a book that helps people learn English with confidence. Every day, I wake up excited to see what's next. English has given me opportunities I never imagined, and I want to help others experience the same. Your story is just beginning. If you're reading this, remember, checkmark. Every expert was once a beginner. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Speak English as much as possible, even if you make mistakes. Believe in yourself, because you can do it. One day, you'll look back and say, English changed my life. A new purpose, helping others achieve their dreams. As I continued my journey, I realized something very special. English is not just about learning a language, it's about opening doors to new opportunities. Everywhere I looked, I saw people who had big dreams but felt limited because they couldn't speak English. Some wanted better jobs, some wanted to travel, and some just wanted to connect with the world. That's when I knew. My purpose was not just to teach English but to help others achieve their dreams. Creating my own English learning program. After years of learning, practicing, and teaching, I decided to take a big step. I created my own English learning program. It wasn't just another course with grammar and vocabulary. It was designed to help people speak confidently without fear, learn English in a fun and natural way, use English in real-life situations. The first group of students joined, and I was so excited. We had live lessons, daily practice challenges, and real conversations. Soon, I started seeing amazing results. A student from India got a job at an international company. A learner from Brazil gave his first presentation in English. A woman from Turkey traveled alone and spoke English with confidence. These stories made me so happy. It showed me that English could truly change lives. Speaking on an international stage one day, something unexpected happened. I was invited to speak at an international language conference. I couldn't believe it. Just a few years ago, I was struggling to learn English. Now, I was being asked to share my story with people from all over the world. At first, I felt nervous. Could I really speak in front of so many people in English? But then I remembered everything I had learned. Confidence is more important than perfection. Making mistakes is part of learning. If I could inspire even one person, it was worth it. So, I stepped onto the stage, took a deep breath, and began speaking. I shared my story, the struggles, the fears, the small victories, and the big successes. I told the audience, if I can do it, you can too. When I finished, the audience clapped. Some people even came up to me and said, "Your story gave me hope. Now I believe I can learn English too." That was one of the greatest moments of my life. It proved that learning English is not just about words, it's about confidence, courage, and new opportunities. Looking to the future, what's next? Now I wake up every day with a new goal, to help as many people as possible learn English and change their lives. My future dreams include writing a book about learning English easily and naturally, hosting live English events in different countries, creating a free online community where learners can practice together. But most importantly, I want to remind people that anyone can learn English. Your journey starts today. If you are learning English, I want you to know, you don't have to be perfect. Just start. Speak as much as possible, even if you make mistakes. Find ways to enjoy learning. Watch movies, listen to songs, read books. Never give up, because English will open doors for you. One day, you'll tell your own success story, and when that day comes, I'll be here, cheering for you. A new chapter, turning dreams into reality. As my journey continued, I saw more and more people gaining confidence in their English skills. I received messages every day from learners around the world sharing their successes. I finally had a conversation in English without feeling nervous. I got accepted into an international university. Because of English, I got my dream job. Each message reminded me why I started this journey in the first place, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams. But I knew there was still more to do. Building an English learning community. One thing I learned from my own experience is that learning alone is difficult. It's easy to feel frustrated, unmotivated, or even give up. But when you have a community of people learning together, everything becomes easier and more fun. That's why I decided to create an online English learning community where people from all over the world could connect, practice, and support each other. Daily speaking challenges to help learners overcome their fear. Live Q&A sessions where I answered questions and gave tips. Group discussions where learners practiced real conversations. The results were incredible. People started making friends, practicing together, and improving faster than ever. English was no longer just a language. It was a way to connect with others and build confidence. Traveling the world and teaching English in person. As my community grew, I had another dream. I wanted to travel and teach English in different countries. I wanted to meet the learners I had been helping online, experience different cultures, and show people that English is not just a school subject. It's a tool for life. So, I packed my bags and started traveling. In Thailand, I taught English to students who had never spoken with a native speaker before. In Spain, I helped professionals improve their English for their careers. In Brazil, I hosted a live event where learners practiced English through storytelling. Everywhere I went, I saw the same thing. People were excited to learn, but they were afraid of making mistakes. So I always told them, mistakes are not bad. They are proof that you are learning. Confidence is more important than grammar. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start speaking. And when they followed this advice, their English improved faster than ever. The biggest lesson: believe in yourself. Through all these experiences, I realized something powerful. Learning English is not just about studying, it's about believing in yourself. Too many people tell themselves, I will never be good at English. I'm too old to learn. I'm not smart enough. But these are just limiting beliefs. The truth is, anyone can learn English at any age. Making mistakes is normal and necessary. You don't have to be perfect to communicate. The real secret to learning English is not giving up. What's next? Now, I have even bigger goals. Writing a book about learning English naturally and fearlessly, hosting live workshops in more countries, creating free resources so anyone, anywhere, can learn English. But my biggest goal is to continue helping learners like you achieve their dreams. Your journey starts now. If you've read this far, I want you to know, you can learn English. You will improve if you practice every day. One day, you'll look back and be proud of how far you've come. So don't wait. Start speaking, keep learning, and believe in yourself.